But what do you guys think so far? It looks insane. To me, Dragon Isles just looks like just next level in every way possible. It just looks next level. And I can't wait to play it. And I'm definitely getting on the turtle boat. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely getting on the turtle boat. So let's check out more about dragon riding, because this is one of the coolest features of the expansion.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and today we are talking new World of Warcraft expansion, Dragonflight, which is now in alpha, which means for the first time people are getting their hands on it, like right now, as you watch this video, which is pretty awesome. And even more awesome, a few YouTubers, including us, were given super secret early access to the alpha even before the current closed build went live, which means we have spent the last few days wasting hours in the character creation, choosing between the 80 octillion customization combinations for our new Drakthea evokers. You can see our new video deep diving into that class alongside this one, exploring every nook and cranny of the Azure Span zone, which is the best zone in the Dragon Isles because it's where the Tuskar live, being overwhelmed by the new professions and talent trees, but also something else which you may not have been especially excited about up until this point: dragon riding. One of the new systems of the expansion, which has kind of gone under the radar a little bit, like, yeah, I'll judge it when I see it sort of thing, you know? Well, here's the thing, Internet. We have now seen it. And here's the thing, Internet. It's amazing. And not in a, oh, thank goodness they didn't dick it up, that's kind of amazing, low bar kind of way, but in a genuine, game-changing, legitimately one of the best and most important changes to the game that has ever happened kind of way. I am here to tell you, Internet,
I'm really liking the look of it, the new mob models and all. So yeah, everything.
Not just in terms
I
of
agree.
how
It's the details. It's the details in Dragonflight that look amazing.
It works, but in what it does to your entire gameplay experience. I am not exaggerating when I say it revolutionizes the core loop of WoW in the best way possible. And if Dragonflight is remembered in fond terms as a good expansion, dragon riding will be one of the main reasons for it. So join us as we talk you through how the system works in the current build, why it's so good and makes the game so much better, why Dragonflight is the flying expansion. Okay, go, 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 go. So in this first build of the alpha, we are dropped into the Azure Span, which in terms of leveling will be the third zone that you quest through out of 4. So when we begin our journey here, we have already travelled through the Waking Shores and Onaran Plains, which means we are in possession of 2 different drakes to ride, the renewed Proto-Drake from the first zone and the Windborn Velocidrake from the second. Yeah, I know. Dragon riding is a skill that you level up, and after those 2 zones, we currently have 3 Vigor points and 3 abilities: Skyward Ascent, Whirling Surge, and Surge Forward. By the time you're done with the quests currently in the Azure Span, you'll have added a blue Highland Drake to your mount collection, as well as unlocking loads of customization options too. My point is that the dragon riding we have been testing for the last few days is at most half as efficient and complete as it will be by the time you hit max level.
Man,
So
if
dragon riding
is going to get better than it already looked yesterday, which I'm sure it will because this is alpha build, I'm fucking excited.
Brilliant dragon riding is, that actually it's much, much better than this. But how does it work exactly? Well, let's go in stages. Here is me on my Drake. Let's say I want to take off and fly to that beautiful Tuskar village over there. From a standing start like this, I can just press Skyward Ascent and launch myself up into the air using one of my Vigor points. And from here on in, it is go time. Whereas standard WoW flying is basically just swimming in the air, dragon riding is very much more about momentum and velocity. There is no hovering in midair in one place with dragon riding. That Drake is now moving, and all I have to do is aim that momentum where I want it to go, landing in the village like a textbook flying Chad. But for further distances, you need to maintain that momentum, which generally means aiming downwards whenever you can to gather speed, or using Surge Forward, which uses a Vigor point. And when the wind and graphics are whistling through your wings, the sound design on the system is amazing, by the way, that means you are currently not losing momentum. You are still gradually losing height over time, but you're not suddenly going to come to a stop or anything, unless you just aim your nose upwards for no reason. The real fun begins when you have enough height and speed to get the blue glow thing.
Look, real quick. Just watch the webbing and the wings.
When you have enough height
I love the detail of how the webbing in the wings moves
and
now.
Speed to get the blue
It looks
glow
so much
thing.
more real.
I don't know what it's actually called, but when the blue glow thing happens, your vigor bar starts to refill like it does when you're not flying, replenishing a vigor point every time it does so. So you can keep surging forward to get momentum or skyward ascending to gain height. And with a decent enough starting point, you can literally cross the breadth of the zone without having to land. And yes, obviously it takes a bit more thought, engagement, and effort than the current press button make go system. system that we have right now, but it genuinely does become second nature very, very quickly indeed. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, but Tally, why? Why do I want a system that takes more thought, engagement, and effort than the current press button make go system? And that is genuinely a fair question, but don't worry, because it has got two really good answers. Firstly, speed. Dragon riding is much faster than standard WoW flying. Not just over long distances, but short ones too. In the third leveling zone, don't forget, you are legit zooming from one quest to the next, one mob to the next, and it is incredibly efficient, which is
See, this is the first zone in World of Warcraft since, what was it, in Northrend. Since Storm Peaks. The first zone in World of Warcraft since Storm Peaks that has was built for flying. And the entire Dragon Isle is going to be built for flying. But most zones in the game so far, and the reason for like the holdout of flying in every expansion was because Blizzard builds zones without flying in mind. This is the first time they're building it with flying in mind since Wrath of the Lich King, and that's just going to make the whole experience so much better.
a pretty good reason by itself, but the absolute best answer, of course, is that it is fun. And not just fun compared to the relatively stilted and passive iteration of WoW flying that exists now, but genuine, honest-to-goodness fun to do. And again, both over long and short distances. Because there are obvious set pieces with dragon riding that the game hands to you on a platter. Like, you can usually tell when you're coming to the end of a quest chain in the Azure span, because you'll conveniently be at the top of a big cliff or tower, and then Kalagos or whoever will be like, hey, nice one, champion, we did it. Let's meet up literally at the other side of the map. And you're like, ooh, can I make it there on my dragon? And the answer is...
Man, that's nice. Look at that sound. Yeah, this feels like flying. He's hauling ass. He is legit hauling ass. So every time this blue bar fills, one of these gems fill, and that gives you an ability that you can do to continue flying.
Yes, you can. And that's very cool,
Holy
clearly.
shit,
but
man.
actually, what is really surprising about dragon riding is how fun it is over shorter moment-to-moment distances, too.
It looks fun. It honestly looks fun. This expansion will be good for me since I'm pretty sure I'll be playing solo mostly because my guildies pretty much all quit. Well, they'll be back. They always come back.
In, say, a kill or collect 10 things quest.
You won't be alone, you'll be playing with us. What are you talking about,
using
Amicus?
One vigor point at a time, taking off with skyward ascent, and then swooping down to earth again like 100 or so yards away, which means that your vigor almost always recharges as quickly as you can use it in between killing stuff, and you really are darting around the area at breakneck speed and velocity.
I think this is so cool.
Action, which is in itself fun. Just
okay, true.
I
have all of you. Yeah, we're gonna be questing together, no doubt.
From it. And that is the real genius of dragon riding, because usually in WoW, travel is a hindrance to be overcome in the most efficient way possible. That's its purpose in the game. You need to get from A to B, and at first you can only walk, and it takes ages, but then you get flight points, which are fast but sparse and not precise in terms of where you might want to be. Then you get a ground mount, which allows you the freedom of quicker personal travel, and then finally a flying mount, which is faster again and more over stuff.
Let us lay waste to this realm.
From making the content easier, quicker, and more efficient. It's fun because it makes the boring
Thank you for the
bit
follow
in
and welcome to our
between the fun
Scourge.
gameplay loop
Thank you.
of questing and combat shorter. But dragon
just gotta
riding
get a full
changes
UI
that
levels to join
dynamic
the
because
raid.
now
Yes.
travel is a fun part of the gameplay loop. It is as fun as the things it is taking you to. And so your minute-to-minute loop goes from being moments of gameplay divided by moments of travel into much more often being gameplay leading into gameplay. And you might think that I'm going over the top here, but I promise you, I have lost track of the amount of times in this alpha when I've done some standard kill 10 things quests quest or pick 15 herbs quest or some shit, and at the end I've thought, I literally enjoyed every moment of that. Let's do it again.
That's awesome.
Dragon riding that has done that. Sometimes I die, it's hard to believe, I know, but it's true, and I have to fly back to my corpse on a ghost dragon which uses standard WoW flying rules, and I hate it. It's terrible. Not just slow, but comparatively incredibly boring.
Oh, this makes sense actually, because Dragonflight has so much elevation and changes like that you can get to, that you probably need a flying ghost dragon mount to get back to your body.
And undynamic compared to the dive-bombing firework display that I've gotten used to. I cannot overstate how revolutionary this feels, and I genuinely cannot remember the last time a new feature in WoW had me this sold, so excited, so early on. And here's another thing. Yes, the physics and movement of dragon flying is terrific, but another reason it feels so good is because the Azure Span, at least, is designed from the ground up with this type of flying in mind. This is another reason why dragon flying is so good. It makes the zones better. So dragon riding does have some weaknesses. It can go straight up really, really well, but going across and up, it's obviously impossible to keep velocity going in the long run, and eventually you're going to come back down to earth, likely before you've reached your destination. It doesn't happen all that often though, because the Azure Span is exquisitely designed in such a way that there always seems to be a handy point of elevation to launch yourself from, and the verticality of the zone is such that I am constantly surprised just how far I get, often from a standing start. Basically, this is a zone built for flying, built to get
the Drakthir customizations will take you hours. There's so much
out of this system, and you feel like as much design thought has gone into making intuitive flight runs with drops to gain velocity just when you might need them as has gone into any other part of the expansion design process. It's great, and it changes the whole feeling and purpose of the zone, because don't forget, you are only halfway through leveling here and you're whizzing around like you own the place before you're even at end game, and that is truly remarkable. After a solid 5 expansions, a full decade of leveling through a new continent on foot before gaining the keys to ease at max level, usually half the entire expansion into max level, in Dragonflight you turn up in a frankly shitting massive new continent, and straight off the bat Blizz are like, hey, you wanna fly? Go ahead! Oh, and also it's 10 times more fun.
Improved flying, go ahead. Yeah, it's crazy because, like he said, we've had so many expansions now. Since Wrath of the Lich King was the last one. After that, we've had flying locked every single time to stop us from getting around a zone in the most efficient way. Now, not only are we getting around the zone in the most efficient way, it's fun. It's the most fun way.
Than flying usually is. And also there's loads of Tuskar here, which isn't really relevant to the flying, we just thought you'd like it. Okay, bye! And that's why, even on the occasions when you do mess it up and have to trot along for a bit on the ground like an absolute scrub, you don't really mind. Because in any other expansion, this is how you'd be getting everywhere anyway, until like the 0.2 patch. And as far as the Azure Span goes at least, this is a zone.
Sam just needs to make a guild, we'll all join, but would take away the pug raid factor. But then again, it's a pug if half the raid is... Yeah, I know. Honestly, that's exactly why I haven't made a guild, is because I don't want anybody to be like, hey, I'm in the guild, how come you didn't invite me? You invited a random. And I just like, the pug raid field. Hey, we just put it together. Yeah, we have regulars who come all the time, but they just come all the time. So... we keep it open.
So wide open.
We do have a community, yes, we do.
Well, obviously Shadowlands definitely didn't, but in a way that honestly no modern WoW
They're bringing back Group Loot for raids.
And
yes, they are,
big to think that it was a thoroughly modern reimagining of a 16-year-old game mechanic that actually allowed this zone to ironically feel so old school and nostalgic in many ways. Another reason.
Here's another thing, by the way. So many Guild Wars players are butthurt over the fact that dragon flying seems to be taken from their game. Tell them to get over it. It's an improvement over what they do in that game.
For that is because the questing is lovely. The main story...
That's when WoW's at its best, when they're improving on other games' mechanics.
But there's loads of side quests in far-flung parts of the zone that the campaign gets absolutely nowhere near. And it's Tuskars and Gnolls and Ghost Hearthstone players and the Kirin Tour and the Explorers League, and honestly...
By the way, Big Bluebies, it'll be optional. I'm pretty sure it'll be something that you can decide whether or not the raid is going to use group loot or not.
It's a delight, but that's a topic for another time. Okay, another reason dragon riding is awesome: customization. Throughout the zone,
have you tried the healing spec yet? I have not.
Customizations for my blue drake, the mount specific to the Azure Span, including new horn shapes, tail details, new scale designs, so you don't have to be a terrifyingly smooth-skinned AI Smurf dragon, and even a lovely wise
should be an option
and
for
in
group
case
loot
the
or
potential for
personal
drake
loot
customizations
yeah, there
as
will
a trusty source of rewards throughout the expansion isn't
Poodle boy.
Obvious, if you get Gladiator in
Queue up,
Dragonflight Season 1, this is what you can make your drake
This is fucking sick. Look at it.
Dragon. And even a lovely wise beard. And in case the potential for Drake customizations as a trusty source of rewards throughout the expansion isn't obvious, if you get Gladiator in Dragonflight Season 1, this is what you can make your Drake look like. According to Brian Hilinka's interview with Mr. GM a few months ago, this is not a standalone mount, but a dragon riding customization. And
oh shit. Oh shit. So that mount model we were looking at, the dragon can literally look like any of the dragons. But it's the armor that is unlocked by getting Gladiator. So all these spikes and everything, oh my god. So you could literally have this on a blue dragon, a red dragon, whatever dragon that you've customized. This armor for your dragon is unlocked by getting Gladiator.
And the thought of similar cool, unique appearances being earnable from other content and achievements is mouth-watering, frankly. Oh, and speaking of other content, time trials. Dotted throughout the zone.
Yeah, so Big Blueby says he wishes they added more customization to other races. That was brought up in the Ian interview yesterday, and Ian's response to that was, I'm sure we're looking into adding more customization to other races because the Dracthi are just unbelievably customizable. But he said, but it's not something necessarily that's going to happen for Dragonflight. And that's okay. I'd rather them focus on Dragonflight content than adding more customization, but it's something that could happen down the line, for sure.
Are bronze Dragonflight dudes who will invite you to take part in time trials on
Stormbroken
your Drake
and
through
Q,
standard
gotcha.
and advanced courses of whizzing around the zone, flying through hoops. And they are great, obviously, because dragon riding
this
is
dragon
great.
riding
and I am always
racing
in
thing is
favor
pretty
of
cool.
good single-player content just for the sake of it. The terrific physics of this system mean it's a complete no-brainer. But Morgan Day has mentioned in a couple of interviews now that he likes the idea of races between players too. So if we see these getting adapted for multiplayer further down the line, that's just
Multiplayer racing, what
obvious
great
win.
stream content,
The
man.
iteration of this feature
Should be
in the
fun.
alpha right now is clearly pretty early on, but I still managed to waste a good hour
I
and
like
a half
Arena a lot. I know.
mucking
Yeah, I
around
hate
when really
Arena.
should have been making
But I might do
alpha
it for that
videos.
mount
And as
shit,
well
man.
as
That
being a
looks
good
so
old
cool.
crack, it also taught me some new super swoopy routes between places on the map, so it serves an educational purpose beyond its entertaining brief. Okay, time for a bad thing. It kind of ruins flying. Yeah, basically, going back to standard WoW flying after dragon riding is horrible. It's like watching an unremastered sitcom from the 70s on your modern TV. Low res, dull, wooden, and really, really slow. And sure, dragon riding isn't going to feel this pure and fun forever.
A car,
It will
who are you?
inevitably
Queue up a
become
car and I'll
relatively
invite you.
normal and mundane,
I
just like
see your
everything else you
exclamation
do
point
for
join. We still
hundreds
have
of
room.
hours in your favorite video game. But dragon riding
Just tell me what
feeling
your name
less
is in
special
game.
and unique with time will actually make current flying even worse by comparison. And actually, this is a major problem, because if this does remain a Dragon Isles only system, going back to normal flying, or God forbid, ground...
I hope not. I hope not. I hope they bring this forward. I know we're not going to have borrowed power in this expansion, but don't give us borrowed flying either. We want to take this flying and continue with it into the game if it's that much better.
mounts for 2 patches.
Good job. You spend 99% of your time on the newest expansion anyway.
And then normal flying, 11.0, will be a more wretched feeling than any borrowed power like artifacts or legendaries disappearing. But that's a worry for future Taliesin, because right now, dragon riding has
so
been
far it looks like it works quite well. So far it looks like dragon flying is a massive improvement to the
joy
game.
And gives me more genuine hope for Dragonflight and frankly the future of WoW than I thought would be possible from this first alpha build. And you know what? Maybe every other zone on the Dragon Isles will be terribly designed for dragon riding and it will be nowhere near as fun or impactful. Maybe Blizzard will alter or slow down the progress that you make on leveling dragon riding, which makes the entire thing a whole lot less fun. Who knows? Anything could happen, but right now, this is genuinely great, guys. You're gonna love it. It is a game changer, it's the future, and it's
Looks
now.
awesome.
But what do you think? Are you excited or ever so slightly annoyed about my gushing review of the dragon riding system so far? Is it the slam dunk feature that WoW needs, or too little too late? It's just a Guild Wars 2 thing anyway, dead game. Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, we've got our deep dive into the Drakthir Evoker customizations and gameplay video, and an interview with Morgan Day as well, both either out right now or on their way in the next 24 hours. And an episode of the Weekly Reset coming too, where we'll be going over all the data mining and community reaction now that Alpha is out in the open. But thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, don't thank me, thank our patrons who give their actual real-life money to make all of our work happen. And genuinely, guys, thank you, because without you, there would be a whole lot less Taliesin and Evitel. If you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it.
We're almost set. I think one more
DPS
here.
No, I mean Caligos. No, my name is Taliesin, from me and Evitel and Anirin and Penny too. Until next time, cheerio.
Come, Let us lay waste to this realm.
Akar John, thank you for the follow and welcome